Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second in our series of accessing your creativity through the landscape. This is brought to you by Droimín Creative Cavan and is supported by the Cavan Arts Office and will be recorded, and some parts of this will be used as a film to show on Culture Night. With me this afternoon is Julie Aldridge, who is an art therapist and artist, and Kim Doherty, who is also an art therapist and artist.
And I will start off first with an image that I know Kim has to share for us. So this image, some of you may be familiar with, is by the Russian artist Chagall. And it was made in 1915 after the World War had broken out already for a year. And he had been with artists like Picasso in Paris and poets like Apollinaire for 3 years. But when the war broke out, he made his way to Russia and married his wife from there, Bella. And this painting was made during their honeymoon, and it depicts landscape and a simple dwelling, animals, and the title is The Poet Reclining. So it made me think that, we feel that we can control landscapes like this, domestic landscapes like this, and yet the poet here is dreaming. And I don't know if he's being dreamed by the landscape or whether he's dreaming the landscape. And that was my question is, do we dream the landscape or does the landscape dream us?
My interest actually is in the Celtic Zodiac. And I was saying about Celtic astrology as driven by nature. Each sign is represented by both an animal and a tree. And your birth date can help you discern your guiding creature and a plant for deeper insight into your innate strengths. So have a look at the Celtic Zodiac, if Kim can get it up there, and pick whatever animal is your own animal. And hopefully you might think yourself that you have some traits of that animal or some things that will talk to you about what the animal means to you. So hopefully afterwards we're going to do some art making, and you can maybe bring this in. You might find you have something in connection with this spirit animal.
So I'm interested in how we engage with the landscape. So when we talk about the theme of our workshop, accessing the landscape or accessing our creativity through the landscape, I think about the fact that as soon as we've opened our eyes, we're engaging with the environment around us and the world around us. So the easiest way for me to explain that to you is by using 2 images of my own. The second image I'm going to share with you is one, it's a screen print of Loch Sheelan, and it's blue on silver paper. And I suppose the reason I'm sharing this image with you is because for me, the strongest aspect of it is light. And I'm always drawn to the power of light on water. And again, I think about how we internalize places that we've been to and experiences that we've had and how we hold them on the inside. So I strongly think about the inner landscapes.
I really enjoyed that exercise. I think a bit like Katrina, it took me quite a while to come out of my head. I had the Amergin stuck in my head, so every line that I wrote was, I am the lake, I am the trees, I am the wind and the reeds,
I do think nature needs us to have a relationship with her. And so, we're giving something back instead of always taking out.
It just feels really beautiful when you say it like that, Julie. Thank you.
It felt very soulful and inspired. A lot of divine magic.
I just feel that the landscape is relatively integral. It's integral here still. And I just feel so lucky to be here as opposed to in the UK where there's so little landscape left, you know. And the landscape there is so emptied out. You know, it's like the spirits have fled and just the appearance is left. Whereas here, you know, the spirits are still here in the land. And that's what I love about it.
Could I just say something? You had a line in your poem, Julie. Was it, I can read the wind?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. My nostrils read the wind.
Yeah. And there's a great book of poetry and film that Dermot Healy and somebody else, Tim O'Grady, I think, was involved in, called I Could Read the Sky, If I Could Read the Sky. Yeah. And I think what you're talking about there in terms of the Irish experience that we have here is we are still very close to reading the sky and the wind and the land. And we've had it, everybody's talked about that, whether it's been in the forest or being at the sea or being at the lake. It's allowing that reading in, that kind of that wisdom, that the domain of the wise that I think Helen talked about, that notion of just allowing that in, you know, it's that what you talked about, that reciprocal thing of what nature, what we are, you know, we're in tremendous harmony even when we're out of sync with each other. Okay.
And how my neighbour always knew if there was enough time for me to get to the village and back without getting wet. I hope you've all got something you feel you can take away from today, and it's been a great pleasure meeting you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And we'll be in touch with everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.